Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is Todd Durkin, and good morning. It is 8:40 a.m. as I record this, and I am feeling like $1,000,000 right now. I just had an awesome workout in. My morning routine was dialed in. I took Jersey out for a 32-minute walk, and then I came into the home gym, and I crushed an upper body workout. I stretched for 10 minutes, and I even did another 5-10 minute meditation just to get some quiet time. Ate my breakfast, showered up, and I do my best work typically between like 8 and 11 a.m. We talk about circadian rhythms. I talk about it in Get Your Mind Right book. And that's why I'm giving you my best right now. It's literally 8:41 a.m. And today is all about being your best. And actually, I'm not talking about the morning routine today, even though I just did. But people always ask me, like, what's your morning routine like? What's your daily routine like? And I've been beating that up, and hey, it's been beaten up by high performance gurus for years. But one thing that I have been recently reminded of is how important not just your morning routine is, but how important your nighttime routine is. Because if you don't have a good nighttime routine, then your morning routine is going to go to the pot. It's not going to be good. So I want to talk about that today. And I want to be really transparent with what I do, or at least what I aim to do most days of the week. And I believe today that if you dial this in, if you really think about what you can do to improve your nighttime routine, I'm going to challenge you now with the questions I would normally end with. What do you need to do to tweak or change your nighttime routine? How can you be better with your nighttime routine? And what are you going to commit to doing as you're listening to me speak about evening routine? What is it you're going to do to improve your habits? I mean, the bottom line is we all want improved performance. We want to improve our energy. We want to feel better. We want to improve our physicality, our mindset. Nighttime routine is absolutely important. Now, I was reminded of this recently. I was up in Los Angeles, and I had to record my audiobook for Get Your Mind Right. It's coming out end of December, early January. The audiobook will be coming out. I'll keep you certainly posted of that. But what happened was I was slated for 3 days in the recording studio to record the audiobook. Now, it's just under 70,000 words. And I figure that, hey, if I'm really good, even though I have 3 days in the studio, let me see if I can knock it out in 2. You know, that athletic mindset of let me see if I can increase the speed. Well, it was a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday last week when I recorded this up in LA. And on Sunday night, I was dialed in, and I had my son Brady up in the hotel room up there. We had a great meal together. I got up Monday morning. I worked out, got some time and walking in the Hollywood Hills, getting some hill repeats, listening to my podcast. My morning routine was dialed in. I went to the booth, and let me tell you what, I was on fire. My voice was strong. My emotion was strong. I got through 5 of the 10 chapters of Get Your Mind Right. And I was like, I'm going to knock this out in 2 days. So went home that night, and sure enough, that evening, Brady and I went out to dinner. Did not eat a great meal. Had burgers and fries. The World Series was on. Got back to the hotel room. The TV was on. I was scrolling on my phone. And before I knew it, it was 11 o'clock. That's an hour past my bedtime. I woke up I did not sleep well, had too much salt in the food, was dehydrated. Therefore, it threw my morning routine off. Guess what? When I went to the audio booth, I knew that I had to be smart and listen to my gut and say, I'm not going to try to plow through 5 chapters. So I set a goal. I'm going to get through 2 chapters, and I got to dial in my nighttime routine on that, which was then Tuesday night, so I could get back into it and finish strong. So I did a great 2 chapters. On chapters, it was 6 and 7, and then I had to actually get through 6, 7, and 8, and then finish strong on Wednesday. And that I did. But it reminded me, the question I always get is, what's your morning routine like? Folks, it's about your nighttime routine. If you want to set up a successful day, yes, your morning routine is imperative, but that starts with your nighttime routine. So why hone in on your nighttime routine? Number one, so that your mind can relax and you can turn your mind off. Anyone else need to turn their mind off at night because your mind is racing? Yeah, Exactly, because if it's racing, then you don't sleep well. If you don't sleep well, you can't recover. So the second part of why hone in is so you can sleep better and that we can get REM sleep and we can go through our sleep cycles on that. And then that allows us, number 3, recover, physically recover. We have to physically recover at night so we wake up feeling energized. If the first thing that you do when you wake up is think about either A, taking a nap, or B, going back to sleep that night, then you know you did not sleep well. So you want to be able to recover. And lastly, number 4, y'all want to be successful and perform the next day really well. You want to have great energy. You want to be positive. So your nighttime routine is imperative. So I want to share today things not to do and what to do. And let me start with things not to do. These are the things not to do in the evening if you want to really be dialed in to a high performance routine. We'll call it an impact nighttime routine or a get your mind right nighttime routine. But the bottom line is this: if you do these things or you don't do these things, they will set you up for success or for failure. And I want you to all be great at your nighttime routine. So here are the things not to do. I've got about 5 of them. Number 1, your nighttime routine starts with your evening meal. So think about dinner. You do not want to eat a crappy dinner. So if you're having hamburgers and fries, and even if you topped it off with a beer or a glass of wine, that's probably not going to set you up for success when it comes to the digestion process at night if you're not having a great nutritious meal. So don't eat a garbage meal at dinner time. Number 2, things not to do: scrolling on your phone. Oh, I got y'all. Guess what? I'm guilty of it too. I just admitted that earlier on that night in the hotel room. I got caught on the Instagram and checking out everyone's Instagram. The World Series was on. I was on Twitter looking at all what people were saying about the baseball game, about the football games coming on up, and scrolling on your phone. Man, it's before you know it, 20, 30 minutes has gone by, an hour's gone by, and you're just needlessly scrolling. Things not to do, number 3. Sitting in front of the TV and just watching mindless TV. Quadrant 4 when it comes to high performance. Things that are not important, not urgent, right? These are things that are just like you're just completely mindless, or lying in bed and you're listening and watching the news. There's no good news on. It's always like, good evening. And that's the last thing that you hear is actually good. Everything else is usually horrible on the news. Or you're listening or watching some show that is certainly not lifting up your mindset and your thoughts. So if you're going to bed watching murder shows, crime shows, the news, these are things that are not going to help you out. And have you caught yourself doing that before? Of course. Of course you have. These are simple reminders of what to do, what not to do. Now, listen, if there's a ball game on, right? Sometimes you're going to watch a ball game, especially you East Coasters. I don't know how you do it. I can't. I remember going to, trying to stay up for the Monday night football games and everything else. I'm just saying, be leery and weary of what you're watching and listening to in the evening. And I'm going to talk about how you can really improve on that. And number 4, what not to do. I'm going to challenge all of you to, what you're drinking, be careful of, and not to overconsume or don't even consume alcohol. So people always ask, like my clients like, hey, is it okay to drink, wine every night? Well, no, yes, there's polyphenols and there's some things that are healthy about wine, but I don't think it's good to drink every night. As a matter of fact, the pandemic has left a lot of people drinking too much. Can I get an amen, right? There are people that are drinking too much. That's why I have a 2 beer a month limit. That's it, 2 beer a month limit. As a matter of fact, throughout the pandemic, there have been months I'm like, I'm not having any alcohol at all. I don't want my immunity compromised. Number 5, binge eating. Don't binge eat. I've talked about it before, but remember those chocolate-covered almonds that speak to you at night? Yes, I have a conversation with the chocolate-covered almonds. I've asked my wife, Melanie, please do not bring home the chocolate-covered almonds. And she's like, Todd, that was you that picked them up at the store. I'm like, oh, that's right. So binge eating, not going to set you up for a great nighttime routine. And then lastly, things not to do. I'll give you 6 on that is, this is a big one. Working within 2 hours of going to bed. Can you cut down your work within 2 hours of going to sleep? So for me, this is personal. I go, my goal is 10 o'clock hit the lights out, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. So what does that mean? 8 p.m., I've got to start disconnecting with work, emails, social media, all of those things, right? So those are my challenge of things not to do. Now, pay attention. Here's what to do. Think about, again, what can you commit to doing with your nighttime routine? These are high performance habits. These are things that if and when I do these, I am going to be operating at my absolute best because my nighttime routine was dialed in. Therefore, I slept well. I woke up energized. I was able to get up and get my quiet time in the morning. I was able to get my exercise time in, my workout time. I was able to feel good, pray, and get everything in. So guess what? I can get on this podcast like I am right now and feeling like, man, I am feeling on fire. So in reverse, okay, as far as this, number one, you got to eat a good hearty dinner. You got to eat a good, healthy, hearty dinner. When I say hearty, what does that mean? Does it include a salad? Yes. If you're going to eat nutritious, try to have a salad with at least dinner, okay, or lunch. You want to have at least one salad a day. And that's always my goal, even when I'm traveling, is one salad per day. Ideally, I do that at dinner. Dinner for me is at 7 o'clock. Why? Because 10 o'clock's bedtime. And I know that I don't want to eat within 3 hours. So I don't want to eat a dinner at 8 o'clock and go to sleep at 10. So a great dinner could be like salad and then a good source of lean protein. Fish is always great. Chicken, every now and then, it'll be some beef or some meat, but fish, is awesome. And then dessert, have dessert, but be careful the dessert you have. I love to have chocolate almond milk. Not chocolate covered almonds, chocolate almond milk, unsweetened with 2 scoops of protein powder. Now the protein powder for me, I alternate. Sometimes it's whey protein if I had a strenuous workout that day, or I'll have collagen protein. I've been loving a brand called Bubs collagen protein. I'm not affiliated with them per se. I just love them. They support a great cause. And it's a great collagen protein, but I alternate between a whey protein and a collagen protein. And that's my dessert. And if I have that dessert, it satiates, having that protein shake satiates my appetite for the sweet tooth to go to the chocolate covered almonds as well. So that's number one. 2, again, I mentioned this is really, really hard. Shut down work 2 hours before bedtime. So for me at 8 o'clock, I've got to stop. I got to start shutting down work. Getting off the emails. If I'm on a writing project, every now and then I'm going to skew the rules, but I don't do my best work after 8, like 9, 10 o'clock. I'm not doing my most creative work. I do my best work like right now when I'm recording this in the morning time. So my best work is reserved for my most creative time when the juices are really flowing, when the circadian rhythms are really on fire. So know that. But for me, it's 2 hours before bedtime. I'm starting to shut it down. Now I use this thing called 3-2-1. 3-2-1. And this is a Brendan Burchard thing I picked up years ago. 3 hours before sleep, don't eat. 2 hours, shut down work. And then 1 hour before bedtime becomes extreme personal care. So check this out. Here's my extreme personal care of what I do. Now, think about for you, what do you want to do out of this? I'm not asking you to do everything that I'm doing, but this is what I try to do most days of the week for my evening routine to be dialed in, right? I have my good meal at 7 o'clock-ish, and then I'm going to shut down work around 8 o'clock. And then within 1 hour, so that means about 9 o'clock, ideally, here's where I start getting into my extreme personal care. Starts with my supplement routine. ZMA, that's zinc and magnesium. I'll take a ZMA supplement. Zinc and magnesium, very, very important for recovery and also helping sleep and also helping the synapses fire properly. Hydration. I don't know why. I don't know about you, but I tend to run more dehydrated than rehydrated throughout the day. I don't do as good of a job as I should hydrating up. And I don't know if it's because we're wearing masks more, so I don't drink as much water, but the last couple of months, sometimes I'm feeling myself thirsty. And remember, when you're thirsty, you're already 2% dehydrated. So I drink 16 ounces of water, pure water, in the evening, starting around 9 o'clock, I start to pound the water on that. So I can't encourage you enough to hydrate. You're like, well, yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Yes, go to the bathroom right before you go to bed, and that'll help not having to get up in the middle of the night. Also, from the supplementation routine, I'll take some melatonin. The last couple of months, I have not been sleeping well, and that's why I'm focusing on this nighttime routine, because the mind is racing. So melatonin is another supplement, which oftentimes we are lacking melatonin. So I'll take a melatonin supplement, and sometimes even this calm tea that Melanie picked up. And the calm tea is a great way. It's, you get some hot steam and water. You put the calm tea together, and man, you sip on that. It's a great evening routine from the supplement routine. So the next thing, this is number 4. I love doing this, and the kids, we get some time several days a week doing this. Either we go into the hot tub, or I invested in red light therapy last year. It's called a Juve wall, and a red light therapy, obviously because blue light, we're emitted blue light throughout the day with computers and TV and all of this. Red light therapy, Juve wall, actually helps with the recovery process and the sleep process. My goal is 10 to 20 minutes per night of either hot tub or red light therapy. And if I do that, the hot tub, awesome for the muscles. I'll go into the hot tub and I'll stretch my quads, my hamstrings, get the massagers on my lower back, and it feels great. And I get time with the kids. And the red light therapy, if I can sit in front of that red light therapy, it's in my bedroom. Again, it's certainly helping take out blue light, which affects negatively your sleep. Red light therapy is going to help. Next, this is all within 1 hour. The hot tub or the red light therapy, stretching, 10 minutes. 10 minutes of stretch time. Now, this is often easily neglected. And I encourage you, if you're not doing a stretch routine at night, even, 5 minutes can make a big difference. And I don't do a lot of different stretches. I choose a few stretches and do them for several minutes each. My favorite is the pigeon pose or the modified pigeon pose. Why? Because it opens up the piriformis. The piriformis is a muscle that's deep inside the glutes. And remember, the sciatic nerve runs through your piriformis. So if your piriformis gets locked down because of too much sitting, then you're going to get sciatica all the way down potentially to your foot. This is not a good thing. So the pigeon pose is my all-time favorite. And I also have a super band up there. I have a 1 3/4 inch super band I use, and I do my super band hamstring stretch, lower back stretch, and the side lying quad hip flexor stretch. Now, truth be told, if I'm in the hot tub, I can stretch my quads pretty easily. If I have my super band, I can stretch my quad pretty easily with a sideline quad hip flexor. I'm not good at like a standing flamingo, just grabbing my foot because of my achy knees on that. So the super band allows me to lie on my side, nice neutral position of my spine, and really feel the stretch in my quad and my hip flexor, the psoas. And if you can stretch the front side of your body, that also is going to help eradicate and reduce stress, because stress gets caught up, believe it or not, in your quads and in your hip flexors. So those stretches right there with the super band, the hamstring, the lower back, and the sideline quad hip flexor stretch are phenomenal. So between the pigeon pose, hamstring, lower back, quads, I finish that typically that 10 to 20 minute stretch with corpse pose. And corpse pose, literally lying there on your back, palms up to the ceiling, and legs are relaxed, and just breath work, just breathing nice and deep. Could be 2 minutes, could be 5. Typically, it's just a few minutes of relaxation. All right. And then it's ready to transition literally into bed. And that becomes where either it's reading a book, journaling, or listening to an app. My preferred way is reading. And I have a goal every day of reading 10 pages. I don't like a Kindle. I'm old school. I like books that I can read in bed. Or if it's in the morning, I'll read it, obviously not in bed. But at night, it's at least 2 pages of reading. So if I read 10, 15, 20 pages already that day, fantastic. I'll read, 2 pages at night. If I haven't, I'll try to get through 2, because sometimes I'll say, I'll get through 2 and it's a good book. So I'll read 3, 4, or 10 of them. Now, if your mind is really racing, journaling is great. I'm not as great journaling in the evening. as I am in the morning. I love my morning journaling full of gratitude, but it is a great practice, as well as I don't listen to Headspace or Calm app typically at night, because I do my best to turn my phone off at night and not have my phone on. So I turn everything off. But if you are struggling with your nighttime routine, you may want to try that. And I've used apps in the past, and they do work and they are effective. But my best thing is, if I do the hot tub or the red light therapy, I stretch for 10 minutes and I read a book, at least 2 pages. Man, I by that point, I'm getting pretty darn sleepy and ready to hit the sack for the last thing. Number 7 is just a prayer. Just a couple minutes of prayer time. Sometimes when we're at our best, Melly and I will pray together if it just coincides that our nighttime routines are culminating together in bed at the same time. It'll be an evening prayer. And when you're praying together, there's nothing like your spouse and you praying and, being thankful for health and a relationship and a roof over the head and food and the health of our kids and that. Just the time of holding someone's hand and praying and thanking God for our blessings versus going to bed with worry or stress or fear. What I find is, and I've done this, so I'm not perfect. Again, it's why I'm reminding myself of the nighttime routine, is I've been guilty, and I beat myself up when I do it. If I didn't turn my phone off and I start scrolling, especially on email, it's always when you get that email from someone who's disgruntled, a teammate who's unhappy, or a member who's unhappy with something that happened, or someone shared an email where they're just not happy, and you internalize it. And I'm like, gosh darn it, I'm not even mad at the email. I'm mad at myself that I wasn't disciplined to actually leave the phone off or turn the phone off. So, reminder, turn your phone off. An hour before you go to sleep, turn the phone off. There's nothing that's going to happen after 9 o'clock that you need to know about, unless your kids are out socializing, right? But turn your phone off and don't scroll social media or email. That's one of the best practices that I've done. And when I fail at it, I'm always reminded of, man, get back to the best practices. So, my friends, there you have it. The nighttime routine. What I want you to do is think about 3 hours before going to sleep. What are you eating? Is it good or bad? Is it filling your body up with good nutrition, with nutrients and vitamins and minerals that are going to actually help you replenish your body with what needs to be done so you can wake up feeling revitalized and rejuvenated? 2 hours before going to sleep, can you cut down or shut down the work? Shut it down. Computers go off, and start just really focusing on your personal routine. Because within 1 hour of going to bed, for me, it's 10 o'clock is go time, because I want to get up at 5 o'clock. If I go to sleep at 10 p.m. and get up at 5 a.m., that's 7 hours. That's my goal. A lot of times lately it's been 4:30, which gives me 6 hours. And that's my minimal time. It's not always about the quantity of time. It's about the quality of time. And what I've realized is this, is when I get that quality sleep, 6 to 7 hours of quality sleep, because my nighttime routine was dialed in, then I can then set myself up for a morning routine that's made of gold. So that Wednesday morning in Los Angeles, when I was finishing the book and I had to get through chapters 9 and 10, which was tapping into your whispers and living a life worth telling a story about, on that Wednesday morning, like any other morning, I woke up, it was 5 o'clock. I went to the gym and I got my quiet time in, and then I went to the gym and I hammered an incredible workout. Of course, it was filled with lots of upper body and arm farm at the end. And I love meditating now after my workout. I've been spending more time after I get all the stress out and I'm feeling like $1,000,000, and then I'll spend 5-10 minutes of actually breath work and meditation and praying afterwards, being thankful that I just got a great workout in, that I'm ready for a great day. I set my intentions for the day, and then I'm able to crush it. And whether it's, whatever your day is going to be filled with, it's not always going to be certainly recording an audio book in a studio, but it could be like this right now. I'm recording a podcast episode for the Impact Show, or I'm going to go to Fitness Quest 10 and I'm going to fire up my clients and athletes, or I'm going to be coaching my mastermind group or my impact coaching, whatever it's going to be for you. I want you to think right now, what are you going to commit to doing for your nighttime routine that will allow you to sleep better, to wake up feeling more energized and refreshed and recalibrated so that your mind is good, your physicality feels strong? And then how can you be better? What can you do? Are there things that you can eliminate from your evening routine right now that's just allowing you to be average and not putting you in that upper 10%, let alone 1%, and then tweak it? Tweak or change what needs to be changed. It could be you're going to not have any wine or beer during the week and you're going to save that for once on the weekend, or twice a month, or you're not going to do that at all, or you're going to give up dessert 4 days a week and only have it on the weekends, or whatever it may be. I want you to set your goals and your boundaries for what you know that you need to do based on your performance, because at the end of the day, it's about habits and the discipline to follow your habits. Right now, the one thing that we can control are our habits. We can control our habits. And this is a simple reminder today on nighttime routine, so that when you ask me, hey, Todd, tell me about your morning routine, I'm going to start with your nighttime routine, because success the next day starts the night before. And for me, the night before starts with that evening meal, because that starts to begin the 3-hour process of unwinding from a long, arduous day with whatever you were doing, which brings you into your 3-2-1 your 3-2-1 formula that allows you to perform at your best. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and do me a favor, please provide some feedback. Let me know. Ask questions about either my routine or about your routine, about things that you can do or need to dial in, or where are you struggling? Like most people right now, again, I shared some things that had not worked for me in the last several months, because we're under the gun and our minds are constantly racing and they're busy. And I'm in the same boat, right? There's been many nights that I have not slept well because the mind is racing. So I can have my morning routine dialed in all day, but if I'm not sleeping and I'm not revitalized and I don't feel energized, then I can't get the workouts and my morning routine in that it's going to actually allow me to work at my best. So it comes back to the evening routine. Folks, thanks so much for listening in today to the nighttime routine. Man, I really enjoyed sharing nighttime routine with you. And remember, this is a really important aspect when it comes to you performing at your absolute best self. If you can do me a favor, on this episode, there's 3 dots. Copy the link to this episode and share it. Share it with your friends, text it to your family, text it to your coworkers, or share it on your social media and spread the gospel of motivation and inspiration so that we can create more impact in this universe. My friends, thank you so much for listening to the Impact Show, and I can't wait till next time. Until then, sleep well, be well, perform well, and go create impact today.